bullet at a time.
We are dedicated to keep everybody's loved ones safe and sound, all across the world.
Agents for different potential worldwide scenarios and disasters. You, however, will be a part of the Viral and Health Task Force. Your job is to go to affected areas that we have labeled as viral or biological risk or danger to civilians living there, and to bring aid and support to said area. Your job and the reason why we are rushing your training is to go to Fairfield, Pennsylvania in the USA. Green flu has mutated. This mutation has turned green flu into a harmless cold, to a horrifying pathogen never seen in modern human history. We have quarantined an office building that seems to have had the first case of this new version of green flu. This infected individual with the green flu brutally and violently began attacking their co-workers, even killing some due to the injuries they have sustained. It is thought that due to green flu's extreme infectiousness even before this mutation, everybody in the building is infected with this new strain. We have quarantined the infected person family and are doing contact tracing to avoid the potential.
An ongoing story as questions are being raised on Pleasant Avenue as FPD officers arrived to a 911 call inside of Annex Finance, claiming that an individual inside started attacking their co-workers. Shortly after FPD's arrival, a Civil Emergency Defense Agency Viral and Health Task Force Division arrived on scene and placed the building on total quarantine. FPD officers and CEDA agents both refused to give up any information about this ongoing situation, which have led many to begin speculating. A popular theory being that this quarantine may have something to do with the new novel virus dubbed green flu, which has began to spread around last week in the state of Pennsylvania. Individuals infected with the virus seem to exhibit flu-like symptoms, such as headaches, runny noses, sore throats, and an abundance of many more possible symptoms, although it is not confirmed that this quarantine has anything to do with green flu at all. We will continue to update about the mystery on 13 Pleasant Avenue as more information gets out.
With the spread of green flu going rampant in Fairfield, and public awareness starting to catch on that something is wrong, we have decided to air an emergency broadcast, and make this new version of green flu public knowledge to the world.
PSA from the Civil Emergency Defense Agency, spreading awareness about green flu. Due to the increased spread of green flu within Fairfield, we would like to remind you to wear face masks and try to avoid contact with infected individuals. If you are sick with green flu, please be mindful and stay home, doing your part in slowing the spread of green flu. We would like to inform the public about a new variation of green flu that has recently emerged. This variation seems to inflict more serious symptoms upon an individual. If you are sick and have any of the following symptoms: paling of the skin, difficulty swallowing, sudden mood swings, or sensitivity to bright lights, along with other typical flu-like symptoms, please call the emergency CETA hotline or screening for the new variant. The number is 555-000-676. That's 555-000-676. We would like to thank you for your cooperation in advance, and don't forget, we are dedicated to keep everybody's loved ones safe and sound, all across the world.
We have also decided to start opening CETA centers around the city to start handing out information, supplies, and shelter. The largest seizure center in the city that we are about to start operations in is in the One Mercy Hospital.
This Cedar Center will be the only one in the city as of right now to have an evacuation.
Just can't escape my mind. Brought to you by the United States government. A civil emergency has been declared onto the city of Fairfield, Pennsylvania, due to the ensuing chaos by green flu. Green flu was originally a harmless pathogen that is now mutated to a very severe illness. Infected individuals suffering from green flu seem to lose all of their sanity and become extremely aggressive, even trying to hurt family or contact.